If you are serious about moving to Coeur d'Alene, this video is exactly what I would tell a friend before they moved here. So if you're considering it and you're not just coming up for the weekend, this is a video worth watching. I want to start off with some things that you should consider, maybe some reasons not to move to Coeur d'Alene. The first is it's not really a good fit if you're looking for big city life. Coeur d'Alene certainly has a lot of amenities, but it is not a big city. And that's what a lot of us here love about it. It's decent size, but still has that small town feel. So bear that in mind. The second thing are the winters. Winters in Coeur d'Alene are very real. And if you're uncomfortable with the snow and with the cold, then you might want to consider somewhere else. Again, I'm not telling you what to do, but the winters here can get substantial. You're going to be shoveling snow. You're going to be driving the snow. It's going to get cold. If you can't handle that, also the gray during the wintertime, you don't see the sun a ton during the wintertime, and that affects a lot of people. So bear that in mind. Keep that in mind as you consider moving to Coeur d'Alene. Number three, public transit. If you are a person that depends largely on public transit, that loves public transit, we have very little of that here. There's a little bit. There's a bus system, but it's limited to say the least. So if public transit is something that's important to you, then keep that in mind. Again, not trying to sway your decision one way or the other, just giving you information. The fourth thing on this topic of what you should maybe consider is the housing costs. So if you're coming here looking for affordable housing, I think that most people know housing is not low in Coeur d'Alene. House prices are substantially high right now. Our average house price is $711,000, and that's a lot of money. And so you need to make sure that you are prepared for that you're willing to pay that cost of living that Coeur d'Alene entails. And the last thing on this is the nightlife. If you are looking for a substantial nightlife, not really the culture of Coeur d'Alene. Granted, there's some stuff that happens downtown and at State Line, there is a nightlife, but if that's a really big deal for you, it's just not the world that we live in here. All right, let's look at some of the pros and cons of living in Coeur d'Alene. So one of the big pros to Coeur d'Alene is you have access to lakes, to mountains, to trails, to all of these things. There's really, really nice outdoors, very, very accessible from Coeur d'Alene, and a lot of people love it for that reason. Another pro is the sense of community. Really, really neat place to live, neat place to raise your family. It's a reasonably large area, Kootenai County, pushing 200,000 people, but really still that sense of small town community. People are kind to each other, really nice place to live. Coeur d'Alene is a very clean, well-maintained city. You don't see a ton of garbage in the streets. It's just, it's not the culture of Coeur d'Alene, and I love that about here. Also, it's a slow pace of life, and that is wonderful if that's what you're looking for. Generally speaking, the speed limits are lower. I mean, it is physically slower in that way, and people live that way, and it's really quite nice. It's also growing, but it's not overcrowded. The growth in Kootenai County has been done relatively well. I know a lot of the longtime residents are not happy with how much growth there's been, but again, who doesn't want to move here? It's an amazing place. And so I understand the need for growth, and both economically and just logistically, and it's been done very well. And so as you drive around, as you see the growth that's been happening, it's been well thought out. And the last thing is, even though I keep talking about how small the town is, and we're very close to all of the amenities that Spokane has to offer. We have an international airport that's getting a major overhaul right now, and it's wonderful. Actually, side note, that is the best airport in the world to travel through. You are in and out of that place so fast, very, very easy to navigate. So awesome to have an airport so close, again, to the beauty that we live in. It's wonderful. So a few of the cons now that we've gotten through that list of pros. We have rising house costs. Houses are expensive. I mentioned earlier, $711,000 average sale price right now. A lot of money. That is something that you're going to have to swallow. It's just a pill you have to swallow if you want to live in Coeur d'Alene. Another thing is the seasonal tourist traffic. We have a lot of people that are here in the summertime. A lot of people come up, they visit the lakes, they visit the mountains, and it's not that bad if you know how to navigate it, but just it takes longer to get places in the summertime. It's way busier downtown. That's just the way it is. Again, it's a con. It's also a pro because we have a lot of fun things that come along with that, but you got to learn to navigate it. And then the icy roads. Winter and icy roads, it is a con of living here. I personally love the four seasons. I love the snow. I love playing in the snow with my kids. I love building a snowman, all that type of thing. And it's work. It's cold, it's heavy, it's slick. You got to learn to drive in the snow, and it's a cost of living here, for lack of a better term. And then the last thing is a competitive housing inventory. It's been really interesting to see the market shift over the last few years. Here in Coeur d'Alene, we still have 3 months of inventory, which means we're still in the seller's market. If you're coming in to buy a home, then just expect a little bit of competition. It's not to say it can't be done. It's actually a really good market. It's numerically, it's a seller's market. It's a lot more balanced than it was a few years ago, in that you still have multiple homes to look at. You still have a little bit of time to decide when something good comes on the market, but things do move relatively quickly, so be aware of that as well. So one of the things I like to tell people is don't move here because of the postcard, move here because of the lifestyle day to day. It's an awesome place to live. So some of the things that I like to tell people who are relocating, if you have the time, visit in January, not just in July. July, the sky is blue, the air is warm, the lake is wonderful, and January, it's cold, it's gray, and it's wet. And so see both sides of that. Again, if you don't have the time, you can look up videos and things like that to get an idea of it. But if you have the ability and you're looking 2 years out in the future, I definitely visit during both times of the year. Also, look for homes when you're searching for a home, look slightly below your budget. And that will do two things for you. One, it'll do one of two things, I should say. It'll give you room to grow in that price. If you look at those homes and you say, you know what, we really want this a little bit better, or this a little bit nicer, or this a little bit bigger, that'll give you that space, that room to go up. Also, you might find that you're perfectly content with that less than you can afford price range, or less than you want to afford price range. And you might say, yeah, this is awesome. And then you'll save yourself money, you'll save yourself interest over time. And either way, it's a win. So I always recommend that. Also, if you're looking to move up to Coeur d'Alene or anywhere in North Idaho, I would love to be a real estate resource of choice. My number is 208-277-8471. And best thing you can do when you're considering, just reach out to me. We can have a conversation. And again, even if you're a couple years out, I've worked with many, many families for a few years before they actually make the move. I would love to help out. Until then, keep living the dream.